All right, so I am back with another interview with a Greek IB student from around the country, and today we're talking with Lauren. Lauren, well, I'll let her introduce herself, but I'm really excited that she's here. Hey, Lauren.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, good. How are you today?
I'm doing great, doing good.
Good. If you're watching this on Instagram TV or on YouTube, she is sitting outside. She said she's by a river at a kind of a family cabin. So a little
Yes.
jealous. Yes. But
Yeah, it's very
anyway,
hot. It's very hot, but
yes.
it's worth it.
Well, good, good. Well, Lauren, tell us like Greek chapter, where you go to school, you're in school.
Okay. Well, I'm Lauren, like she said. I'm from a little town outside of Baton Rouge called Walker, which is about 30 minutes from my school. And I go to Southeastern Louisiana University, as you can see behind Miss Alice. So line up. But yeah, I'm currently in Phi Mu and going to be a senior this year, which is so crazy because I felt like when I was a freshman that time would never come. So
Oh,
that I'm here is so bittersweet and so exciting. So I'm super excited.
that's awesome. Yes, and as Lauren alluded to, if you're watching this, I do have a background of the Lions Stadium for Southeastern Louisiana. So, what did you say? Go Lions or Lion Up?
Line up. Yeah.
Oh, Lion Up.
Line up.
Okay.
Yeah. That's our
Yay.
little hand motion.
I love it. That's so awesome. So, and Lauren, you're in Louisiana right now, right? You born and raised in Louisiana?
Yes, ma'am. My whole life. So right now we're at our fishing camp. So we have I would show y'all, but it'd be too hard to turn the whole computer. But we have a little camp on the river, and we come here pretty much every weekend. Just it's like our little getaway. So it's
Oh,
super
I
nice.
love that.
I come study on the river. I've actually led a Bible study by the river with my girlfriends. So it's really fun.
Oh, that's so neat, Lauren. That's so great. Well, hey, let's get into your experience with Greek life and Greek Varsity. Oh, I forgot though. I asked everybody the same question because since we're talking with people around the country, I kind of love this question because it can be so unique based on, where you are geographically. So I've said this before. I really like food. One of my favorite memories from college was going out to eat with my sisters late at night, just hopping in the car. So, where is your favorite place to eat, either like on campus or near campus?
Okay, so I'm gonna beside the coffee shop because I
Yeah,
spend most of my time at a coffee shop.
yes.
We
Coffee
have a
shop,
local,
studying, eating
yes,
out, maybe a little different.
yes, for sure. So, but right down the road from my apartment, we have what's called University Donuts, and it's so fun because it's not just donuts, which yes, we do get donuts a lot, but they have breakfast food, they have lunch, and then what's really neat about the place is it's specifically for Southeastern. So they have like baseball jerseys hanging, football thing. It's just very school spirited. It's 2 minutes from campus, so it's super nice. A lot of times me and my friends would go before our 8 a.m. classes because they have really good coffee, chocolate milk, donuts, whatever you want. So it's just a cool little hangout spot.
Oh, that sounds great. So I live in Salt Lake City, and I have to
Okay.
say, just not that many great donut places here. There's some. I'm not going to say there
Mhm.
aren't any, but it's not the same. I grew up in the Midwest, and we had plenty of fried dough eateries. So
And
I
this is
do miss
homemade
that.
too. Homemade.
Ooh. Oh, that
Yes.
sounds awesome. That sounds awesome. Well, let's talk a little bit about your experience. You said you're a Phi Mu. And so I'd love to hear, you're going into your senior year, so you've made lots of memories and favorite moments, but, what's a favorite memory or moment that you have from your experience in Phi Mu?
Okay. The first thing I can think about is the field right behind you.
Oh,
So,
awesome.
so we have what's called I'm sure you've heard of the intramural sports.
Uh-huh.
And so we have a Greek life intramural sports, and me and my friends in Phi Mu won the football championship. So we go against the sororities, and we actually get to play our championship game in Strawberry Stadium, which is behind you. So that
So
was
cool.
so fun. I'm very competitive. Um, and so I think that was my best way of of using that. So it was really fun, and it was actually on my 20th birthday that we won.
Oh,
So
what a cool memory.
yeah.
Intramurals, I think, it's very familiar to Greek life. And I'm a Pi Phi, and we were in
Okay.
a intramural, we had an intramural soccer team. And one time I had to sub in, and I am also very competitive, but I would say I'm not great at soccer. It was not,
Mhm.
we did not win. I will say that. So
Yeah.
congratulations, Lauren, on your
Thank
intramural
you.
football win.
It was so fun. I'm really not that great of a athlete, but football is like my thing. So I was quarterback, and we had a big student section. It was really fun.
Oh my gosh, that's so fun. That's awesome. Well, let's talk a little bit about your faith. So I'd love to hear, were you following Jesus before you came to college and joined Phi Mu?
Yes, ma'am, I was. I accepted Jesus when I was younger, and then when I got to high school, that's really kind of when I started to understand and get tested in my faith and things like that. So I would say I rededicated my life middle of high school.
Nice. And so then coming to college, like what was that like for you? I mean, it's challenging to figure out how to fit your faith into college and then adding sorority on top of that. I'd love to hear like what's that experience been like for you to intersect your faith with college and with being in Phi Mu?
So for starters, I definitely think that the girls that I surround myself with in Phi Mu are some of the best girls. They were very accepting.
Hmm.
I'm not going to say we're all perfect at all, but that's why there's grace, right? And
Yes.
forgiveness. So, but that I think the hardest thing for me going into college with that was trying to figure out the time schedule. Like you said, sorority life is very time consuming. And then you add, try to get your reading in and spending time with God, which that should be first. But I mean, he's always perfect with that. I'm definitely not. So I think the time management, and then also I'm in nursing school, so trying to balance nursing school with
That's a
Greek life.
lot.
Yes, and I think that was definitely the hardest part. But as far as like the support and openly expressing that I was a Christian, my school and my sorority was definitely open and welcoming for that. So
That's awesome, Lauren. And I think that's really encouraging to hear. I think, especially for people who are interested in joining Greek life but are worried about their faith. And this can vary across the country too, of, how accepting you feel like people are of your faith. But I think that'll be really encouraging for, potential new members to hear that actually, my sisters were really supportive. And I would say, for me
yeah.
too, Lauren, in my sorority, like I would say most of my sorority sisters were not Christian or didn't identify as Christian, yet they were still really,
Mhm.
I think, open to talking about spiritual things and really respectful of me practicing my faith, as a sorority woman. And so, yeah, that's awesome.
Yes, ma'am. I
Well,
agree.
yeah, let's talk a little bit like, what's the best thing as you've integrated your faith with your Greek experience? Like, what's the best thing about that so far for you?
I think really just first off, when you join a sorority, you kind of already have the same, I guess, the morals, and you get along with these women. When you go through recruitment, you kind of figure out, where do I fit best. And I think the best part about being Greek and Christian is really getting to take that relationship to the next step. And
Mhm.
just like openly expressing like how y'all feel, and also having accountability partners. So and you can
Mhm.
have people from your home church that you can go talk to about, well, at least I do, I'm very blessed with that, about different situations. But when you have a woman in your sorority that is going through the same thing, and they have to be at chapter at 7, and they have to do this, kind of going through the same motions and things in college, I think that's the best part. So
Yeah, that's awesome. And then, from what I understand, Greek Varsity is pretty new at your school. I know that Greek Varsity just came to Louisiana a couple of years ago. So I'd love to hear, like, how did you get connected with Greek Varsity, and what's been great about that for you?
oh, it was such a God thing. Let me just say that. I was when as soon as I joined Phi Mu, I'd always thought about starting a Bible study, but being a little
Hmm.
freshman, I was so scared. Didn't really know anybody, and then my sophomore year came around and I kept feeling the call of God, like, okay, this is your time. Like, you met friends, like, I've given you this opportunity. Let's do it. And I kept saying no. And about that time, sophomore year, first semester, another woman in a different sorority reached out to me. Her name's Peyton. Shout out to Peyton. And said, I would love Theta Phi is her sorority. And she said, I would love if you started a Bible study. Theta Phi just started one. Maybe we could do something together, kind of thing. And I said no again. So then I got this text message from Miss Christina, another shout out. She has been my role model. She's my go-to woman, so she's great. And she reached out to me. I said, I'm open to meeting with you, but no. So I was like determined not to start one. Yes, I wanted to, but deep down I was like, I don't have time. I don't have the energy. I'm trying to apply to nursing school. Like, all of the excuses you can think of were there. So anyway, fast forward, I meet with Miss Christina and I just fell in love with the Bible study in a box. And how much time it saved me, and just, I don't know, there was something more that I wanted to learn about it. And so on spot, without even talking to anyone, I was like, I'll do it. And I really felt just God saying, like, this is your moment. You've prayed about it. Here it is. And so, yeah, that is how I got started. I met with Miss Christina, and then Phi Mu started a Bible study. And then now we have 4 out of the 5 sorority chapters with the Greek InterVarsity.
Wow, that's so awesome. I love that.
I know.
And I say this at the end of every interview, but if you're listening to this, you're like, man, I wish I had something like Greek IB on my campus. We do want to help you, right? Just like Lauren, we want to help you get connected with how to lead a Bible study if that's what you're interested in, or mentoring. We want to provide you with a Christina like Lauren has. And so I'll say this again at the end, but all you got to do is go to greekib.org and fill out the contact card, and we will get in touch with you. But okay. Last couple questions. What encouragement or advice do you have for other Christians in the Greek system?
I definitely think, don't be afraid to make that first step talking to somebody about Jesus. I think as Christians, it's very hard for us to start that conversation, but believe it or not, more than half of the people that you start that conversation with is going to say, wow, I'm interested. And even if they aren't a Christian, they could say, oh, wow, I would love to hear more about that. I've had so many girls come up to me and ask questions and want to dive deeper. And I can tell there's something on their heart, and that's the coolest thing. I've been able to lead the Bible study is just see the wheels turning in their brain and start to say, like, who is Jesus? Like, and this past semester was really cool because we went through the study of Exodus. And that one will definitely get your brain turning and start to think. I mean, I was even challenged, and I've read Exodus twice, I think, before this time. And it's crazy how God can begin to show you different things each time you read it. It really is awesome. So I think my advice would definitely be, don't be afraid to reach out. Even start with your best friend. And then who knows, your best friend will go to another one of her friends. And then by then, all the different groups will be met. So
yeah, that's a really good word, Lauren, and I totally resonate with that. I mean, when I was leading my Bible study in Pi Phi or thinking about starting it, I was so scared. And you do have people that might respond in weird ways, like that just happens. But I was so surprised at how many of my sisters were curious, and some that I totally wrote off as like not interested, turned out to be curious. And so, yeah, I agree with you. Fear can really hold us back, and but God does some really awesome things when we take a step through that fear and say yes. Okay. Any shout outs that you want to give to anybody? You've given a couple and I love it. And so just show some love to whoever you want right now.
Okay, so I've already said Peyton and Miss Christina, but I think so this past semester, Miss Christina talked to me about maybe having somebody kind of mentor with me and kind of go with me throughout the Bible study and just have an extra accountability partner. And so Ainsley, my girl Ainsley Scott, she's awesome. She was the receiver on the football team when I played in the
Ooh.
intramurals. And we've always clicked, like during recruitment and things, we've really gotten close, but I never hung out with her outside of Phi Mu events. And so I messaged her about leading the Bible study with me. And so we've gotten really close. I'm actually going to have coffee with her next week. But, it's just one of those friendships that I'll never take for granted and just helps me grow with the Lord. So go, Ainsley.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. That's so great. Well, Lauren, thank you so much for your time. It was so great to hear more about your story and obviously your passion for both Phi Mu and for Jesus. And again, if you're listening to this and you're like, oh man, I wish I had Greek IV on my campus, or I have Greek IV, but I want to learn how to lead, just look us up, greekiv.org, fill out the contact card on our main page, and we will follow up with you because we want to support people who are trying to do this crazy Christian thing in their Greek experience. And then follow us on Instagram as well at Greek IV. And yeah, again, Lauren, thank you. This is so great.
Thank you so much. It was so nice to meet you.